Again, cashed in the Feast or Fire Tag title shot last week. Robert Roode has tweaked his knee at that point, and they cashed in, and they became TNA World Tag Team Champs. Speaking of opportunistic, this is their opportunity to get those title belts back, because the winning team tonight here in this Impact matchup will get a title shot against Storm and against Roode. Beer Money Incorporated coming up next month at Against All Odds on pay-per-view.
I'll tell you what, think about it. They've got a little revenge that they want to get on these guys, because as far as they feel that Abyss messed them up in the long run, that they were going to retain those belts and hold on. And now look at this, Matt Morgan, somebody we didn't get to see in action enough at Genesis, as he never could seem to get tagged in enough. He's starting out. He wants it. You see Abyss. He's been holding out the hand, but Matt Morgan, he's just taking it over.
Boy, if there was ever a contrast in styles, a contrast in sizes, we're really seeing it here. Morgan and Abyss, and it looks like they're not exactly on the same page right there. I don't think Morgan too thrilled that he's not in this battle at this point. Morgan and Abyss going to use that raw, pure power and strength on the opposite side. Lethal Consequences. They're going to try and stay one step ahead of this team, try and use their high-risk offense, speed and agility.
Well, they're going to have to. I'll tell you, look, and you see the respect. There's something you would have never seen from Abyss before. That's when you saw Matt Morgan. Hear that? You don't shake his hand. That's not what this is about. Abyss, we saw a glimpse of it when him and Matt Morgan were eye to eye after Genesis. We got to see him snap. I mean, I just feel that way. I want to see the monster come back out. He's got to control it, but I got to see it.
Boy, nice handspring into the elbow. Machismo goes with the flying forearm shot. So difficult to take down this monster at 6'8", 350 pounds. From the top, the double sledge to the top of the head, and Abyss is still standing.
That's the thing. It wears you out trying to take him down. I mean, what a defense that is. You hit him with everything you got, and then he presses up into the lights. Pretty good.
Lethal crashes down, and here comes Abyss to the corner. That's the speed that we talked about. He goes directly into the corner turnbuckles, and Consequences. Creed tries to come in, take advantage, but no. He gets overpowered to the far side, and here comes the blueprint.
Matt Morgan now this is what you've got to do, what Abyss and Matt Morgan are doing right now. Tag each other in and out, keep each other fresh, use that size and power to keep these guys grounded. I mean, that's what it's all about. How about that kick by Creed right to the knee of Matt Morgan to try to bring him down to size, and now pounding on the head. But the thing about it, Morgan's still on his feet.
Series of shots by Creed. Drops down, does the splits, and look at that carbon footprint. That thing is deadly. When we return to Impact in HD, we'll find out who gets the tag title shot against Beer Money and Against All Odds. Are back on Impact. More of this #1 contenders tag team matchup. What you just saw from the Monster Abyss extending his hand in is what we have seen during the entire commercial break. I've been watching these two. I've been watching the body language. Abyss wants to get in, and Matt Morgan doesn't want to tag him in. You mentioned that at Genesis, Matt Morgan, well, it looked like it. I had a chance to talk to him, and I can tell you he felt that he didn't get enough of an opportunity to win the tag team titles for his team. And as a result, he's not tagging in his partner. He's going to try and put away Lethal Consequences, and Creed almost taken out right there.
Well, he just doesn't want to be on the sidelines. He doesn't want to be on the sidelines and lose this thing and have something happen. It's just, like I said, something always goes wrong with him and Abyss. And now he does tag him in, but it was forever as he wanted to do it on his own. But the thing about it, Creed, Lethal, they're just not ready to go down.
Nice strategy by Morgan, taking Creed over to the corner and ensuring that he wasn't able to go to the far side and to tag in Lethal. But as Abyss charges in, Creed got the boot up. Clothesline missed, and all of a sudden, the fresh man's in. That can't make Morgan happy.
Well, I'll tell you what, nice kick by Lethal to send Morgan down, and nice kick to the knee. And now, look at this. These guys are becoming a great combination. As you can see, the two of them working together well. And that's what you got to do on a man that size. And double suicide dive on the blueprint.
That's one way to exploit the advantage that they have. As we take another look, check out this double suicide dive.
I tell you what, they duck the clotheslines from Abyss, and both of them shoot right through the middle ropes and take out Matt Morgan. And now they've got an incredible opportunity to take out Abyss. What a drop kick! Pistol drop kick on the top. 1, 2. Oh man!
Lethal from one side, Creed from the other, and they almost put away the monster that time. Morgan rolls back in, turns his attention to Creed. Creed springs off the rope. Morgan's going to take him up high and throw him overhead. Meanwhile, did you see that? Abyss took Lethal and powered him right down onto Morgan.
Well, he thought the Creed was going to land on the ground, and you can see the victory. As the count, Matt Morgan's shoulders were pinned, and they got it. As Lethal was just laid on top of him.
Here are your winners, Black Machismo, Jay Lethal, and Consequences, Creed.
And as a result, Lethal Consequences become the #1 contenders for the tag team titles, and against all odds next month, they're going to be Beer Money Incorporated.
Think of how that happened. It was a situation where Matt Morgan flinging Creed behind him. Abyss just figured he would be the one that would land on the mat. He picked up Lethal, and he slammed him on Matt Morgan instead. And in that situation, it allowed Lethal Consequences to get the win. And Morgan...
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a non-title first blood match. Making their way to the ring at this time, accompanied by Jacqueline, are the TNA World Tag Team Champions, Cowboy James Storm and Robert Roode, Beer Money Incorporated.
Beer Money Incorporated regained the TNA Tag Team titles back at Genesis, and then last week on Impact, Consequences Creed, Black Machismo, Jay Lethal earned the next title shot by winning the #1 contenders match. Tonight, it's non-title, and here we go as Abyss and Morgan meet him on the ramp.
Well, you can see Abyss and Matt Morgan trying to work together, and they're starting off well as they meet those guys early on and take it right after them. Keep in mind, first blood match. If you bleed, you lose.
And you can see that we have referees around the ring with towels in their hands to make sure that they will be on the spot in case there is blood right there. Robert Roode goes face first into the steel steps on the far side of the arena. You see Matt Morgan beating down James Storm.
Well, that's how you got to do it. Use the rail if you can. Use the steps. I mean, anything that you can think of that's sharp, hard, like that wall right there as you see James Storm go flying into it from Matt Morgan as they're going to check his head to see if he's bleeding. Here goes Morgan. Oh, Storm gets out of the way.
Well, you think about the history between Beer Money Incorporated and the Monster Abyss, and I think Beer Money is as guilty as anybody for driving a wedge between these two. How about Storm coming flying from out of the crowd? And we're going to take another look.
Well, here you see it. You can see where the carbon footprint goes straight into the wall. And then James Storm off the top of that same wall right onto Matt Morgan. You know, you mentioned that, Mike, and that is true. I mean, think about it. They've known how to get in Abyss's head from the beginning. I believe it's always been Beer Money that's kept Abyss confused. It's caused Abyss to make the mistakes that have cost him and Matt Morgan matches. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, they did it with the alcohol. They smashed so many beer bottles on his head, and they're always one step ahead of the Monster.
Keep in mind the object of this match. It's not to pin your opponent. It's not to make him submit. It's to make him bleed, because you bleed and you lose. Check out Morgan trying to rearrange the face of James Storm.
This is a great match to experience live here in Orlando, Florida, because you feel the excitement as these guys fight through the crowd. And if you want to find out how you can be a part of TNA Impact, go to TNAWrestling.com so you can find out how you can come to Universal Studios and be a part of this awesome action.
Think of this. If Robert Roode hits Abyss with this chair, he could open him up. Instead, Abyss turns around, and you see that big right hand directed into the steel chair, and the chair went right into the face of Roode.
I think the flat side of the chair, though, went into his face, so it wasn't enough to cut him open. And oh, man, James Storm caught the rail right there from Matt Morgan as he's still beating on him, and now you see Abyss setting that chair up. And if he could put Robert Roode face first with that chair, it's a good shot to cut him open.
Could be the decisive blow. Instead, Roode able to get the boots up as Abyss comes at him, and then from off the middle rope, Roode snaps Abyss's neck and powers him down to the mat.
Well, he uses that to just get him confused, to kind of take over. Now pounding him, just taking those knuckles and driving him into the forehead, and he's telling him to look as he's trying to split the skin with the knuckles as he does it, but Abyss not broken open.
Yes, Rudy Charles with the towel in hand, checking to see if Abyss was opened up. That's not the case. Off the knife edge chops. Roode going to try and send him off and into the chair. Instead, the reversal, and oh, Abyss just put that baby right through the uprights.
And here he goes, and he smashes him, and this could do it. As Robert Roode caught it, you see Abyss pointing. Rudy Charles looking. We got to see this again to see the impact of his face. There it is. Wham!
But as you heard, the audio from Roode Charles, he said nothing when he checked with the towel. Rights, lefts, series of elbows has Storm in trouble in the corner, courtesy of the blueprint, Matt Morgan.
I'll say one thing. This is the four hardest-headed guys I've seen in a ring at any one time. When you think of some of the shots into the steps, into the chairs, and they're still able to keep from bleeding.
There goes Abyss. Directly into the steel guardrail. Morgan able to turn around on Storm. Clothesline missed. Storm goes for a crossbody, and the blueprint catches him in mid-move. Championship belt in hand. Robert Roode just hit Matt Morgan right between the eyes with that title belt.
Oh, that could do it there because there's just so many edges on that title belt. It's the perfect weapon to use. As you see Matt Morgan trying to hide just in case, but you can't. Roode Charles looks it over and again. Nothing. Unbelievable.
Beer Money turns around. Abyss takes Storm and Roode both down with a double clothesline. Now, he's got James Storm in the corner, and here comes 350 pounds, and Storm just sidestepped him.
But this time he takes Storm up over, but Storm lands on his feet. Nice kick to the back of the head.
Boy, Abyss goes down after the kick from James Storm. Storm gonna wait for him to get up. You know he wants to hit him with that last call.
You can just see him just prancing on those feet, trying to set it up to hit it perfectly. And there he goes, but Abyss waiting for it, catches it, got him throttled. Whoa, what a choke slam.
Power move by Abyss, connecting with the choke slam on James Storm. And the monster surveys the ringside area, drops down. I think he's going to try and come over here, and he's looking for a chair. He's looking for some kind of a weapon.
I'll tell you what, he just forces some guy out of his seat, grabs the chair and brings it back into the ring. This is his opportunity. Think about what a chair being crushed on you from 350 pounds will do. That'll bust you open. Robert Roode, though, behind him. Oh, it takes out the leg.
Clipped him, took out his knee from behind with the chop block, and now putting the boots to Abyss. That could have been the decisive blow in the match, that steel chair shot by Abyss, but Roode saved his partner. Another double team move here by Beer Money with the suplex.
Well, working together, and it's what Beer Money does so well, as they just really do read each other's minds, and they just get better and better week after week. And now they're doing the double team situation on Abyss, but again, Abyss still alive.
And again, it's not about pin or submission. It's about making your opponent bleed. Storm gonna hold the head of Abyss. Roode's got the steel chair, but Morgan slips in from behind.
He just takes the chair right away and goes to swing at Roode. And he moves. You can see Storm moves. And now Matt Morgan just eyeing them both up, trying to get Abyss to his feet. Who's he gonna go after, Robert Roode or James Storm?
Storm begs off in the... What the hell?
He just hit Abyss. He just crushed him. He just set him up. He got Abyss to buy into them two working together and then took advantage of the opportunity and creamed him with the chair.
How about the reaction from both James Storm and Robert Roode? Beer Money, at first they couldn't believe that chair shot, but now they realize that if Abyss is bleeding, that they're going to win the match, and Roode Charles calls for the bell.
Ladies and gentlemen, here are your winners, the team of Beer Money Incorporated.
Abyss busted wide open on the forehead there as you saw the blood on the towel of Roode Charles.
You all know the bull riding was voted by the Sports Writers of America as the most dangerous sport in the world, and the show you're going to see it's like an all-out war. It's you're going to see some blood running, you're going to see some broken bones, you're going to see some teeth get knocked out, and the guy that's standing at the end of this is the true toughest cowboy. He's going to win a ranch.
Absolutely, that's a great prize.
Not a
Well, I
bad
can't
prize.
wait to see the show. And Vandy, as the 2007 Toughest Cowboy Champion, tell us about your friend over here.
This is TC the Bull. He's our mascot. He's a little bit smaller than what we're used to getting
Smaller.
on. Oh, yeah. And he's way more docile for sure.
Hey, check it out! Beer Money fans! Beer Money! Hey guys,
Bobby, I don't think you understand. These are world champion bull riders. I mean, these are real cowboys.
Real cowboy right there.
What makes you guys real cowboys? Just because you can ride that for 8 seconds? I mean, I must be the world's greatest cowboy because I rode your mama.
Last week, as part of the main event Mafia Takeover of Impact, Scott Steiner had the recliner on Maple Leaf Muscle Petey Williams. Consequences Creed, Jay Lethal, and Eric Young came to his rescue.
Conspicuous by their absence, the front line Motor City Machine Guns. Oh, they were in the building. They were just nowhere to be found.
Jay Lethal, Consequences, Creed. With the actions of the Motor City Machine Guns just 1 week ago, and with your match against them tonight, could this be the beginning of the end for the Frontline?
Baby, Frontline is up and running. But the problem's not with the Frontline, it's with Shelly and Sabin. Because you see, when you got a family, a real family, you don't put yourself first. You think about the group before you try to stroke your ego. So when we made this commitment, the commitment to band together and create the Frontline, we did that together. So tonight, since Shelly and Sabin want to show their true colors, in our eyes, they're no different than the main event mafia.
Right, yeah. Oh, yeah, tonight, the rockers get rocked. Yeah, they're gonna find out what it's like to live and die by the nose. You know what I'm talking about? Huh? At the pay-per-view this Sunday, against all odds, Funk, DiBiase, Money Man, huh? Bring it all. Bring the belt, the $1 million belt, yeah. Bring Virgil, bring it all. Because the TNA Tag Team titles come home to Lethal Consequences.
Right there,
oh, yeah. Let's go get the rockers, huh? Marty!
Ladies and gentlemen, the following tag team contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing team number 1 from Detroit, Michigan, the TNA X Division champion Alex Shelley, his tag team partner Chris Sabin, the Motor City Machine Gun.
In 2009, it's Alex and Chris instead of Marty and Sean, but no confusion when it comes to the commitment, or lack thereof, from the Motor City Machine Guns to the Frontline. To me, Shelly and Sabin, they are Frontline members in name only, because their actions indicate that they're looking out strictly for themselves.
Their opponents from Elizabeth, New Jersey, Black Machismo Jay Lethal. From Atlanta, Georgia, Consequences Creed. The team of Lethal Consequences.
Tonight, it's the guns in their sights, but Sunday and against all odds, Lethal Consequences gets an opportunity to regain the TNA World Tag Team Championship when they challenge Beer Money Incorporated.
I'll tell you what, they've chased that gold for just a short period, but it's always enough to make you want it more. And
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
look at this. Did you see Beer Money attacking him from behind? Robert Roode, James Storm, not even letting him get to the ring. And that's just like those guys to try to do the damage early so that they won't be full force and against all odds.
Beer Money jumps Lethal Consequences from behind, even before the opening bell. And check out the split screen. You see at the top, Black Machismo Jay Lethal squaring off with the Cowboy James Storm. And on the bottom, Robert Roode and Consequences Creed.
Well, I'll tell you what, what a shot that Lethal put Storm into the wall. As Consequences Creed's actually doing a great job on Robert Roode. If they can hurry up and get rid of these guys early, maybe this will have the reverse effect, and this will be something that backfires on Beer Money.
Boy, but the attack from behind had Beer Money in control, but now, as you mentioned here, Don, Lethal Consequences turning it around on both Storm and Roode.
I'll tell you what, I understand what Beer Money's doing. I mean, these guys, Lethal Consequences, they're young, they're exciting. There's somebody that could hold those belts for a long time, and Beer Money knows it. I think Beer Money's worried to get in that ring with them just because these guys are so unpredictable, but right now, Beer Money taking control of the situation.
Watch out! There goes Black Machismo head first right into the wall, but check out the reaction of the Motor City Machine Guns.
Oh, apathetic as always. I mean, if it doesn't concern them, they don't care about it. If it doesn't concern anything that's going to benefit them, they're not going to do anything to help.
Boy, that just drives home the point how Shelly and Sabin totally looking out for number 1, and number 1 in their minds is the Motor City Machine Guns team.
You can see Robert Roode's got Consequences Creed there. Look at this. He's grabbing his arm and pulling it down over that turnbuckle there. And Consequences Creed fighting in his Storm has a chair behind him. Oh, man! Just smashed his elbow.
What a shot with that steel chair. You're right, Roode had the arm of Creed wrapped around that steel post, and then from behind it was Storm just drilling him with the steel chair right on the unprotected arm and elbow.
The thing that's just so frustrating about this is the Motor City Machine Guns. I mean, look at them, doing nothing. They're supposed to be members of the front line, and they're not doing a thing. Let's get some help out here for Consequences Creed.
If I were not a professional wrestler, what would I be today? I'd probably be a bodyguard, yeah. Because guarding bodies in particular, one that catches the eye and that catches the heart, huh? I'm talking about ladies like Liz, yeah. What kind of music do I listen to? Yeah, I'd say number one is rap. Huh? Yeah. Most of you don't know, but I got an album of my own out, yeah. And I was gonna give you a little sample of it, but before we started rolling, the producer came in and said, "Don't drop it yet." Yeah, let it drop when it drops. It ain't happening yet. Yeah. The one thing that is most important in everyone's life, yeah, I'd have to say, a great set of glasses. And you know what they say when your future is bright? Yeah, you gotta get a cool pair of shades like these bad boys here, yeah. Give you a little half eye, but not the whole thing, because the glasses never come off, yeah. I say, if I had to get up in the morning and leave the house with one article of clothing, it'd be these bad boys right here. If I had a superpower, I would say it'd have to be controlling my rage. Yeah, I'd be the only man who could control his rage. Because I don't know if you know, but I got a rage that's uncontrollable when I start on the attack. See that? See what just happened there? I kind of had it under control just for a little bit, yeah. I mean, I was gonna snap. Yeah, but that wouldn't have been good, bam, for you. Wouldn't have been good for me either. Can you spell fine? Huh? Anytime money's taken away, it's not good, yeah. And that happens to me quite a bit, because I can't control it. Yeah, it's like madness. Total taking over the body, you know what I'm talking about? Huh? Madness, freaking out, yeah, because I can freak out like nobody else can, yeah. But the only problem is when the freak out starts, can't turn it off until it's run its course. But, yeah, superpower would be keeping the freak out under control.
As we come back on Impact, you hear the opening bell. Motor City Machine Gun's going to try and take advantage of his situation against their frontline member, Black Machismo Jay Lethal. Consequences Creed was taken out, Don, just before we went to the break. This was moments ago.
Well, this is what led to this, as you saw that chair shot by Storm right there on the elbow of Consequences Creed. You see the trainer come out. There's no way that Creed can go, and again, that attitude of the Motor City Machine Guns just absolutely sticks in your craw, and that's what got Jay Lethal fired up. He doesn't care that it's a handicap match. He just wants to get his hands on Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin.
Boy, that just makes you sick to your stomach, seeing the indifference of the Motor City Machine Guns while their so-called frontline partners here, their mates, were being taken out by Beer Money Incorporated, to the point that Consequences Creed has gone to the back. He's not able to compete in this match, and I've got a question about Consequences Creed's ability to go Sunday and against all odds in the TNA World Tag Team title match against Beer Money Incorporated.
Well, you got to figure that if he can move that elbow at all in any way, shape, or form, Consequences Creed's going to be out there and against all odds because of the importance. Oh, look at this suicide dive. Jay Lethal dives right through the ropes as Chris Sabin leaps above him, and now Sabin comes over. Look at that. Lethal just takes his head and slams it to the mat.
Attention turned to Alex Shelley. Gonna roll the X Division champ into the ring, go for the cover, but Shelley kicks out. Wouldn't you think, if you're the Motor City Machine Guns and you're on the same page as your frontline members, Consequences Creed and Jay Lethal, that maybe, Don, that you would ask to have this match canceled and not go in a handicap match against Black Machismo?
Well, I've just stopped trying to figure out what decisions the Guns make and why. I mean, think about how far they'd come. Oh, nice. Closing the distance there by Jay Lethal, getting that drop kick up in the chest of Alex Shelley. And, oh, man, what a backbreaker by Chris Sabin. I was just going to say, it seemed like they'd come so far, that memory of that match of Alex Shelley against Chris Sabin for the X title. And they're two guys that you want to like. You want to root for them because they're so talented. And then they do crap like this that just absolutely blows your mind.
The flurry of offense by Black Machismo Jay Lethal certainly cut off by the Guns. And as you watch this handicap match unfold, to me it was just a question of time because of the numbers situation here before Shelley and Sabin, the Guns, would take over on Lethal, who's doing his damnedest here, trying to fight back, but Shelley catches him, and then that discus forearm rocks Machismo.
I mean, you understand the emotions that Lethal was feeling, why he wanted to go after these guys, but you gotta think of the bigger picture. The bigger picture is this Sunday and against all odds. The bigger picture is being the TNA World Tag Team Champions. Sometimes you just gotta fight some battles another day, but you know what? It's hard to say that when you're caught up in the moment.
Nice shot that time by Black Machismo. That rocked Shelley in the corner, but you can see at this point in time with no one here to tag in, Consequences Creed taken to the back, being worked on by the paramedics, the EMTs. Jay Lethal is in severe trouble against both members of the Guns, who now with the double team move sandwiched him with the double kicks.
Well, we talk about it when these guys get in sync. It's impressive. Look at this. Oh man, almost got a pin, which may have been a good thing for Jay Lethal. I mean, get out of here and worry about Sunday. But I'll tell you something, when the Guns get it clicking, these two guys are something else.
Shelley holds Lethal in position for Sabin to come off the top with the double action. You just saw Eric Young come flying right by the broadcast table, and check it out. Showtime is going to take the position of Consequences Creed. He's going to replace Creed and be Black Machismo, Jay Lethal's tag team partner.
Well, Eric Young's a perfect example of how a frontline member should act to help out one of his buddies. Oh, look at that. Lethal able to duck. The kick catches Shelley in the head, and here goes the Lethal combination as he hits it perfectly as this thing is turned around just by the appearance of Eric Young.
Confidence level rising in Black Machismo, but imperative that he gets Eric Young into the battle, and there's the tag.
Eric Young comes flying in. Look at these shots as he's got one for everybody. And look at this, that discus clothesline he puts on Sabin, and puts Alex Shelley right on his face.
Face plant for Shelley. EY set to go high risk. Goes all the way up to the top. Here he comes. Big leg drop off the top.
1, 2. Sabin breaks it up at the last second, but Eric Young, though, what a boost he's given to Jay Lethal. He's just wiped out now, trying to catch his breath. But again, you've got the Guns, and when they work together, oh, look at that shot to the head.
And work together they do almost flawlessly. Cradle shock up on the shoulders of Sabin. But EY able to float down, and then, he shoves him into the corner. Shelley gets crunched up on top. Here it could be the DDT. Oh, he just rammed Sabin right into Shelley.
Holy cow,
He's got them both up on his shoulders. Here it is. Double stack Death Valley driver.
And he nails it, and he goes for the pin. 2. He's done it.
Here are your winners, Black Machismo, Jay Lethal, and Showtime, Eric Young.
Just in the nick of time. Showtime Eric Young replaces Consequences Creed, joins Black Machismo in gaining the victory over the Guns.
Well, this is how it was done. If you see what he does here, as he has Sabin on the shoulders, rams him into Shelley, and then stacks them both on top, and then hits that Death Valley driver, and unbelievable, gets the pin.
Great